Hi, I'm Kathleen, and I'm a 3L law student, an LSAT tutor, and a teacher. I help students, especially those who learn differently, to break down the LSAT into clear, teachable strategies. In today's video, we're going to discuss the three common mistakes that students make on the LSAT. All right, let's dive in. So, if you want a step-by-step study plan that avoids these mistakes, check out my LSAT course, link in the description. But let's go through them. So, mistake one is rushing through the questions. It's just instinctive of us when something feels uncomfortable for us to hurry. And then, in addition to that, you've got a clock that's telling you you only have so much time. But it's really important that you practice over time before doing these tests under the timing so that you're able to kind of let go of that stress factor that increases the pressure. Rushing the questions is going to be when you don't follow your systems or your strategies. And the success to this test for many is really about following the successful strategies and tools to make sure you've evaluated the question properly, you're actually answering the question that's being asked of you, and most importantly, you're understanding what the LSAT is evaluating or what they're assessing you for, because it's different than other tests. So the first mistake people make is definitely rushing. The second one is studying without a plan. So kind of just diving in and like, well, whatever I hit today happens. Each of these questions, the reading comprehension and the logical reasoning are designed to specifically evaluate a skill. And if you have the right tools and strategies to apply to those questions, you can execute that skill very successfully. The problem is people look at these questions similarly to the way they looked at questions throughout their undergrad study. And this is a completely different assessment tool. So, as a teacher, we are taught to look at how to assess people. And when you get yourself into a test like this, there's specifics they're looking to assess you on. This is not about them assessing you on being able to recall back the material from the question. This is about how you can analyze something. And that's an important skill moving forward into law school because you're going to be doing an insane amount of reading. And so, being able to develop these tools and skills to read, analyze, and apply what you've read is so critical. In the past, in your undergrad, they may have taught you to read something, assess it, apply your own perspective to it. We're not going to do that here. So, the first thing you really need to do is let go of that. And that's part of this studying without a plan problem, is because if you apply the way you studied in the past to the LSAT, it's a disaster because it's not the same assessment piece. So studying with a plan means breaking it down, consistently studying over a long period of time where you're practicing questions, using your mistake journal, and reflecting on what's getting you the correct answers, what tools and strategies are helping you to see and identify what the test is looking for. It is in some ways about being taught to the test or teaching to the test, but let's remember this this is a standardized test that's giving you access to a higher level education. So it specifically is built to assess a certain skill. And in this case, it's analyzing. Mistake three is avoiding your weak areas. Ignoring them does not make them go away. And there is a little bit of a math game behind the LSAT, being that certain parts of the test are worth more than other parts. So if your weak area happens to be in something that represents 30% of the test, you could be saying goodbye to that large amount of your score, which is a big difference. That can be the difference between a scholarship and no scholarship. So rather than avoiding weak areas, it's important to identify those. We do that using a mistake journal where we're journaling and making sure that we're tracking and looking for patterns as we go. So those are kind of the three priority spaces I would start with first. We have lots more, but one is taking your time in all ways, both in your study plan and on the actual exam day. Two is studying with a plan, making sure you've got a plan in place. And three is making sure we address weak areas versus avoiding them. So let's dive in a little bit to mistake one, rushing through questions. So trying to finish too quickly, skimming instead of reading carefully. And when we say reading carefully, we're going to teach you how to read specifically so you get the keywords. And the last one, missing keywords like except, only, or unless. So we have lots of identifiers or trigger words that we need to be looking for. The fix for mistake one is to slow down to speed up. And when I say that is we want to learn accuracy in the beginning and then the speed will come through practice. So that's where we need a consistent longer time frame to study over. So some things we're going to do is to circle and underline important words. We're going to read the stimulus once with focus. We're going to do some mapping practice as well. And of course, accuracy first, and then speed comes with practice. Mistake number two. So, studying without a plan. So, jumping between random prep books or tests, not tracking your progress or not looking at where you've started and where you're coming to build your confidence and build on areas that need improvement, and practicing without reviewing mistakes. It is really easy to try and protect your ego by just skimming over the questions you got wrong and not going back. But those are the questions that are going to teach you the most. So, in this case, we're going to take those mistakes and turn them into the biggest lessons. A fix for two is following a structured plan, using a weekly checklist or schedule, reviewing every wrong answer to learn patterns, and building routines that make prep automatic. So, one of the things we do at Link is each Sunday we email you a whole study package, and that really helps you to keep on track with what you should be working on. The second piece we do to support you in fixing mistake two is we offer unlimited email questions. So, as you're working, you can use it as an accountability piece to email something in and say, does this look right? Or I have this question, or I keep getting this question wrong. And we also, of course, have office hours. All right. So, mistake three, avoiding weak areas. Focusing only on strengths, which I know that's easy to do because it makes you feel better about yourself. Me too. But we need to build on the weak parts as well. So, skipping sections that feel too hard or hoping weak spots will improve on their own. If you have a question that feels too hard, break it down into something smaller. Look for the simpler lesson inside it, and then we'll build on that skill. You don't walk into the gym and immediately go over and try and bench your own body weight, right? You start with the 10 pounders and you build your way up. And that's what we're going to do here too. So, the fix for mistake number three, tackle weak spots head on. Set aside time each week for the hardest sections. Break challenges into small steps and celebrate wins to stay motivated. All right. So, if you want a step by step plan that avoids these mistakes, check out our LSAT course. If this tip helped you, I'd love for you to join me for more. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next LSAT strategies and check out the free study notes and resources that I've put together for you. Links in the description. You've got this.